Vishnupada Parivamsaka Acharya Ashtottara Shata Srimad Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, all glory to Sambul devotees, all glory to the Sambul devotees, all glory to Sambul devotees, all glory to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glory to Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are reciting the verse from Canto 3, Chapter 20, the conversation between Maitreya and Vidura, and the text number 29. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 29. Tam kvanak charanambojam mada vihvalalochanam kanchi kalpa vilasad dukulachanna rodasam tam kvanak charanambojam mada vihvalalochanam kanchi kalapa vilasad dukulachanna rodasam tam kvanak charanambojam mada vihvalalochanam kanchi kalapa vilasad dukulachanna rodasam. Prabhuji. Tam kvanak charanambojam mada vihvalalochanam kanchi kalapa vilasad dukulachanna rodasam. Tam kvanak charanambojam mada vihvalalochanam kanchi kalapa vilasad dukulachanna rodasam. Mataji. Tvam kvanak charanambojam mada vihvalalochanam kanchi kalapa vilasad what meaning? Tam, that body, kvanat, tinkling with ankle bells, charnambujam, with lotus feet, mada, intoxication, vihvala, overwhelmed, lochanam, with eyes, kanchi kalapa, with a girdle made of golden ornaments, vilasat, shining, dukula, by fine cloth, channa, covered, rodasam, having hips. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Please repeat with me. The body given up by Brahma took the form of evening twilight. when the day and night meet, a time which kindles passion. The asuras, who are passionate by nature, dominated as they are by the element of rajas, took it for a damsel whose lotus feet resounded with the tinkling of anklets, whose eyes were wide with intoxication, and whose hips were covered by fine cloth, over which shone a girdle. Purport. As early morning is the period of spiritual cultivation, the beginning of evening is the period for passion. The demonic men are generally very fond of sex enjoyment, therefore they very much appreciate the approach of evening. The demons took the approach of the evening twilight to be a beautiful woman, and they began to adore her in various ways. They imagined the twilight to be very beautiful woman with tinkling bangles on her feet, a girdle on her hips, and beautiful breasts, and for their sexual satisfaction they imagined the appearance of this beautiful girl before them. Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Hevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I hope you all are settled after 4 days long festival season. So, I think in previous chapters, when Varaha killed Hiranyaksha, when he went back to Vaikuntha, everybody was enjoying and welcoming Vishnu. And there it was mentioned the word Akhanditotsavam. Every day in a spiritual planet, it will be like a festival where Vishnu is, Krishna is there, and devotees are exchanging, having loving relation. So it's like every day it was a festival in spiritual planet. But yeah, at least we in the material world, we have some festivals. With our resources and capacities, we cannot make everyday festival. But yeah, we have some festivals throughout the year, and we try to celebrate. But in the mind, in the mood, we can create that Akhanditotsav, and we try to keep that spirit. We can continue that. So coming back to today's verse, I think this is a conversation between Maitreya and Vidura is continuing, and he started explaining how the material world is created by Brahma. So in that discussion, we landed up to the 29th verse. It's today's verse. In yesterday's verse, the Brahma was having he was not having a proper mindset. Then Lord ordered him to cast off this body, and then as per the instructions by Lord, so Brahma changed his body. That body became a twilight in the sky. So by seeing the twilight, so these asuras, the demons, were thinking like a beautiful woman. So they are, and it's the twilight time is nothing but it's like a evening time. It's the intersect between day and night time. So that's called evening time. So In today's topic, today's words, mainly we'd like to focus on two aspects. One is how the various timings impact our day-to-day activities and their mindset. And second one is we'll try to compare the material beauty and the spiritual beauty. These are the two aspects I would like to focus for the rest of the time. So the first, when we see the timings, how it impacts. The twilight timing is the evening time. So as per our, in Bhagavad Gita, we had a chapter, 3 modes of material nature, right? So goodness, passion, and ignorance. So from the evening time, when it starts from the afternoon and evening time, it's a passionate nature. And then as the night progresses, the ignorance will precede, it takes over. So during this time, people will tend to have more of enjoyment, material sense enjoyment. If you see particularly in India or here as well, evening time, you see most of the people will be queuing up near the bars and winery shops, right? So that is where they would like to start enjoying that. They try to get that tendency to start enjoying. So the material people start enjoying the things from the evening time, and it will continue in the ignorance. So here also we see all the wine shops, bars, pubs, everything, they start opening in the evening, it will continue late. So this is the example, like we can practically understand how these modes of material nature impacting. We can see our material examples. So all these bars, pubs, they start in the evening and it will continue. Like even in fact, if you see the TV channels, the prime time TV time is like morning, evening 7:30 to till 9:30, right? That is the way most of the people will sit and enjoy watching TV. So that is the prime time. Most of the time, that prime time, people will, the TV channels will get more advertisements. They will charge more money. That's why they call prime time. So they know that everybody will be sitting in front of the TV and they will be having enjoyment. So this is how we can understand how these modes are working. We can see through these examples. And last week also we discussed about the Charvaka Muni philosophy, where what he said, once you take birth, and between the birth and death, it is your life. After that, there is no life. That's what his philosophy was. So what he suggested, enjoy the world between this birth and death period. You try to enjoy as much as possible. If required, you steal, you beg or borrow. But don't forget to enjoy. That was his Charvaka principle. That is the atheistic principle. That is completely materialistic mentality. Same thing we can see. These are all so those people will enjoy means, again, in the evening time, they will be going for pubs, bars, whatever. They would like to have all sort of sense enjoyment. And we also read in, this is the 14th chapter, 20, yes, in 14th chapter, it is, I guess. In the Diti and Kashyapa Muni, having the discussion. Diti went to Kashyapa Muni to have association to beget children, right? But Kashyapa Muni told the time is improper, right? If you remember. He was giving the Diti that this time is not suitable for this kind of association. He was saying that all the ghosts will be roaming around this time. And that is the same evening time only. And the Lord of Ghosts is Rudra. He is also roaming with those ghosts, so this is not the appropriate time. So what he will do, suppose if any person, any woman and man having association at this time, what he will do, because these ghosts will be looking for its body, suitable body. So he will put that ghost into the womb of that woman, so that he will get the body. So that's why Kashyapa Muni was saying no to not to have association at that time. So we can see all the various, how that very different, particularly evening time and the night time, how it is not, how the passion and ignorance nature will accumulate, it will grow, and how it will impact our day-to-day activities. Same way, if you see the morning time, that we all know that Brahma Muhurta, it is very auspicious to cultivate the spiritual knowledge, right? So that's why everybody recommends to wake up in the morning time, before, I think 1.5 hours before sunrise. That is where the Brahma Muhurta, and we need to do our all spiritual sadhana. That is very auspicious. So like this we have a various timings where some of the timings are auspicious for spiritual cultivation and some of them are not suitable for any, it's only suitable for sense enjoyment and material gratification, where only materialistic people will be following these kind of activities. If you see from our scriptures, Lord Krishna, when he was in Dwaraka, actually Krishna is a supreme Lord. He doesn't need to do anything, but still in Dwaraka, he used to wake up early in the morning. He used to do all his sadhana activities. Why? The reason, he wanted to set the standard. If he was having the respectable position in the Dwaraka, and so if he doesn't do all the activities, by seeing him, if other people also, they won't follow. So that's why even though he doesn't need to follow all the morning activities, because he's a supreme Lord, he's out of all these modes of nature, but still he was doing all this morning sadhana. That's the reason why in the Bhagavad Gita we have the yad yad acharati shreshtas tat tat eva tarojana sayad pramanam kurte lokastad anuvartate. So whatever great man performs, common men follow. Whatever standards he sets, all the people follow, right? So that is the reason Krishna was following all his morning activities, so that people will be following. Otherwise, Krishna is not doing, so why we have to do? That way people will think and deviate. So in order to establish the dharma, so path of this spiritual path, he set the standard to follow everything in the morning. Same way we are also continuing in that path. The waking up the morning, attending Mangalarti and all other things. So this is how briefly on how the different timings will have impact on our day-to-day activities. So morning is good for spiritual realization. Evening is only for materialistic people. Evening and night, they enjoy material world. But because our spiritual people, devotees are opposite to the material world. When the material people are enjoying, we take the rest. When they are sleeping, we wake up and we do our work, activities. So this is how the both are in opposite direction. Now, the next topic which I would like to cover is the material beauty and the spiritual beauty, the difference. So it's a human tendency that every human beings getting attracted to anything any beautiful thing in this material world, like the nice nature. That's why we see people go to holidays to see Switzerland or New Zealand, to nice beautiful places where they wanted to enjoy the beauty and they want to stay, and its finally ultimate aim is to enjoyment, material enjoyment. But still, people will go to the various locations. Not only that, if you see any long weekend, we see on the motorways how busy it is. Like people will be trying to go to the various places, have a relaxing time and enjoy. So this is the nature of the material world, is people will get attracted towards beautiful things, whether it is a nature, it is any beautiful items, or it could be between the two opposite genders. Male will be getting attracted to female and female will be getting attracted to male. So this is the basic tendency of any human nature. We cannot suppress this nature easily. We cannot simply stop getting attraction towards. We cannot force on our mind to stop thinking like this. But it is inevitable, it is a built-in nature in our human body. So we cannot avoid this. So but if you see the big actors, movie stars and all, what they do? They try to do six-pack body or different muscle they want to build. So, but finally, by seeing those bodies and all, people will get attracted. They will make it as a superhero, their admirable hero, and right. But if you see what is their underlying body, so body outside side, we are seeing the skin, but under the skin, what is there? It's a bone, flesh, blood, pus, all sort of thing. If you see those things directly, you will not be able to admire those things. But when it is covered with a body, and we started getting attracted to opposite gender, or by seeing a big six-pack body, we will get attracted. So we try to maintain the body. But if you see underlying things, we will never we'll never try to attach to that body. Like, it's like, if we go to a 5-star hotel, and you see that you go to the toilet, and the toilet also, they will nicely maintain, like nice marbles and nice taps, good lighting, proper colors, painting, everything, right? But by seeing that luxurious things in the toilet, we'll never try to stay in that toilet. Fine, our objective is to go to the toilet, pass the urine and stool, come back, right? But we never get attached to the toilet by seeing the nice atmosphere. We never get attachment to that, right? So, same thing. This body, underlying the body, skin, what is there? It's pus, urine, stool, everything. But externally, it's the skin. By seeing the skin, we try to get attraction. This is our human nature. So the Prabhupada, there is a nice story in the Prabhupada narrated on that beauty, this material beauty. So in a one town, there was a nice, beautiful lady was there, staying with her parents. She was unmarried. And so she was very beautiful. So, and in the same town, there was one more person. He was also good looking, but he's having all bad habits. So he's having association with many people women in the town. And he saw this, that person saw this lady. And he was very much attracted. So he thought of, okay, so I should get married to this lady. So then he was thinking, then he started going and approaching her. She was keep on denying her. And he didn't leave. So he was continuing, he's still continuing to get association to that woman. So after so many attempts, finally one day she told, okay, you are coming regularly. So what she said, okay, I am happy to have an association and live with you. So only give 10 days time. And after 10 days, you come back. So he agreed that. So he was very happy. So he was that, okay, finally I was able to convince this lady. So I will be coming after 10 days. He was eagerly waiting for the 10 days to happen. So after 10 days finished, that person went to the house and he knocked the door. And then they opened the house. One lady came. She was very weak. She was not good looking. And she opened the door. And then he thought, okay, this lady could be her maid servant. Then he asked, can you call your boss, lady? So and she invited me. So then he went with all the gifts and everything. So when he went inside, and he was waiting for that. Then that lady came. This person asked me, where is that lady? She said, I am the one. Then he was surprised because she was weak. She was as if she got some disease. So everything was, the beauty, everything was, nothing is there. She was very tired, not a good looking. She was very weak. So she asked, why, what happened? Have you been are you suffering with any disease or anything? Then that lady told, no, because you are very much attracted to my beauty. So I kept all my beauty separately in separate place. So you can come, we can enjoy that. Then he was unable to understand what is that, how you can separate your beauty. Then that lady told, since you are very much fond of my beauty, so what I did, I took the beauty out. How? So she took some medication from last 10 days. And what happened because of the medication? She was continuously vomiting and passing the stool and urine. So what she did, she captured all those things and kept aside. See, and when all those things were happening, because of that she lost her beauty and everything. Means she lost her beauty, she came to a normal, ordinary woman. So she said, that is all my beauty. She took her inside a room and showed whatever she kept, like the vomiting, whatever stool, everything she kept. She showed, this is what all my beauty. So then by seeing that, that person realized, this material beauty this is what the material thing. So it's a temporary, and we get attracted to the things by seeing outer coverings, but inner it is a temporary first of all, and it's all external. So internal it is different. So this is how the material beauty looks like. Now the next thing is we have to overcome this. How we can change our perception, how we can change our material to spiritual side, how we can convert. See, like if you see great sages like Vishwamitra, what he did, they tried to follow the dhyana yoga process, right? Dhyana yoga kind of. What they did try to get the self-realization. They follow the process of dhyana yoga or ashtanga yoga. They meditated. They started meditating. But when these people are doing severe meditation, what Indra got in the message that, okay, he is doing severe tapasya, he is going to take over his position, Indra's position. Then what he did, he sent apsaras. Then by seeing the apsaras, even though he was meditating, when he heard the foot sound noise from the apsaras walking before Vishwamitra, then he opened the eyes. So he was attracted to the apsara, and finally he broke his meditation and austerity. He got association with apsara. He started living with apsara. So similarly, Saubhari Muni also, what he did, he went under the water, deep ocean, because in external we have so many disturbances, like how it happened to Vishwamitra. If I go deep under the water ocean, if I do meditation, nobody, I will not have any distraction. So he started doing, for 60,000 years, he was meditating under the deep ocean. What happened? So one day, when he was meditating, two fishes having associating with each other. Then he got distraction. With that, he broke his meditation. He went out and he married to a king's daughter and he started living family life. So what the great Jnana yogis, they are unable to control these distractions. Though they are doing 60,000, 70 years with the proper austerity, with proper discipline, they are doing all this meditation and yoga, but at once they could not continue this process. So only this is the power of material attraction, this material beauty. What is the way? Only bhakti yogis will have the opportunity to control this material attraction, to overcome this material attraction. We know Haridas Thakur. What he did, Haridas Thakur, daily he used to do 300,000 times holy name, right? He was sitting and doing, and the Maya came in the form of prostitute, and she was asking him to associate with Haridas Thakur. What Haridas Thakur is doing? He was continuing with them. He asked him to wait until he finished japa. And it happened for continuously 3 days or something. Then finally, that lady got changed, transformed into a devotee. So that is the power of Bhakti Yoga, where Dhyana Yoga is the other yogis. So whatever other process you take to overcome this material beauty or material attraction, you will not be able to progress. But when you see the Bhakti Yogi, an example is Haridas Thakur. He was able to overcome this material attraction. So that is the example we can see. So Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate process using which we can overcome this material attraction and material enjoyment. And the next thing is, so in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, we have a verse. How we can overcome this material attraction. The Krishna told, Vishya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasovarjam rasapyasa param drishtva nivartante. So what we have to do? Param drishtva nivartante. The higher taste. We need to experience the higher taste. Then only we will be able to control our lower taste. So one basic example, if you say, suppose you are doing fasting, like we did on Janmashtami day. So once you do fasting, when before breaking the fasting, you will see whatever food, like as soon as you see food, like quinoa or any salad, you will eat everything. You will without, because you are feeling of doing fasting, and whatever food you get, you will have it. Suppose if someone gives you sukha roti, the dry roti also, you will eat it because you are hunger. But if suppose next day you see all the Prabhupada Vyasa Puja, we see nice feast. Suppose if one side you have a sukha roti, and the other side we see nice roti, which one you will see? You will go for definitely nice, the opulent food, right? So all kachoris, cakes, everything, we tend to get that food. Similarly, this higher taste we should develop. This is example at the material level, but we have to apply this in the spiritual context. So we should get the higher taste. We should develop this higher taste. See, all these material people, everybody in the material, if you see, animals are there. Animals doesn't have an intelligence, right? So like eating, sleeping, mating, defending, animals does, and the human beings also does the same thing. But only the difference between the animals and human beings is human beings have the intelligence. Suppose if you have there is a shopkeeper is selling vegetables. If the animals go there, try to eat, take some vegetables, then what the shopkeeper will do? He will take a stick and he will try to hit and send the back to outside. Then after some time, again animals will come. Again he will try to keep on hitting with the stick and they will send. But same thing, let's say, okay, you as a human being, you went into the shop and you try to snatch. As soon as the shopkeeper sees that you are trying to, then he will scold or he will try to hit you. Then you will not go next time. So that is the difference between the animals. Animals, it doesn't have intelligence. It will not apply their intelligence. But whereas human being has the intelligence. So using this intelligence, we should think what is the higher dharma? What is the higher ultimate aim of our life? And that will take you to the right direction. Now, so we have the higher, first thing to get rid of material attraction, we have to develop the higher taste. So how we can develop the higher taste? That is because human being having intelligence, they have all the resources to develop that higher taste. But how to do they develop the higher taste? So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Canto 3, the 21st, the next chapter of this current, there is a verse in the text 17. This lokam shaloka nugatan pasumsa shritva shritena charanata patram parasparam va gunavada sidu piyusha nirya pitadeha dharma. This is a 3:21:17. This is a Kardama Muni past related story. So what is this saying? Lokamsha loka anugatan pasumsa. Lokamsha means all the material worldly affairs. Lokamsha loka anugatan pasumsa. So those who are the follower of the material affairs. Hrutva, so they will be giving up and taking the shitas means taking the shelter of what? Charanata patram. Charana means lotus feet of Lord. Atapatram means umbrella. So umbrella means the general what is the help of umbrella? If it is raining, if it is a hot summer, we use so it will protect. Similarly, the lotus feet of Vishnu, Charanatha Patram, the lotus umbrella, lotus feet of Vishnu is also, it will protect you from the, it will help you to give up all the material worldly affairs. Like, but how? Parasparantvad gunavada sidu piyusha nirya pitadeha dharma. Sidu means intoxication and piyusha means nectar. So by drinking the nectar, you will be getting out of this worldly and material affairs. What is the nectar? Parasparam tvad gunavada sidu. Parasparam. So you will be discussing with each other. What? Guna, qualities of what? Supreme Lord. And you are gunavada sidu. You are discussing about Krishna. So when you discuss about with all this name, form, quality of Krishna with each other, then you will be able to niryapita deha dharma, piyusha niryapita deha dharma. Niryapita means you will be giving up all the deha dharma. Whatever bodily necessities are required, you will be giving up. This is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 21, the text. So what exactly? So when you take the lotus shelter of lotus feet and you start discussing with each other the qualities, name, form and qualities of Krishna, and then what will happen? You will be giving up all the material worldly affairs and you will be surrendered to Krishna. Then what will happen? You will not have all the deha bodily necessities will be given. You will be losing the taste of those bodily necessities. We can see many of these our examples, like our great acharyas and sages. They used to sleep only for less time. One of the basic things, like sleep is one of the mandatory things for our body. Everybody required 6-7 hours. Prabhupada recommends 6 hours, but people will 8 to 9 hours. Some people, but that is sleep is compulsory. When we see in the example of Prabhupada, how the whole night time he used to write Srimad Bhagavatam commentary, and the next time he will do only afternoon. Sometime he will take a little nap. On the night time, 1 or 2 hours he used to sleep. Rest of the time, either he will be fully surrendered to Krishna. Either he is translating Bhagavatam or he is giving lectures. He is trying to spread Krishna conscious message in various ways. So what happening? Why he was able to his sleep is completely minimized. So one of the bodily needs is sleep. So we can see that in examples. So when you completely surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna and you are involved in spiritual activities, your material necessities will be, you will lose the taste for these material necessities. You will not be hankering for those things. This is one of the real examples we can see. Same thing, not only Prabhupada, many other our spiritual masters, senior devotees, they all are following this approach. So when you completely surrender to Krishna, your bodily requirements will be fulfilled automatically. You don't need to take care specifically. It will be, Krishna will take care of those things. Now we understand the material beauty and how we can overcome this material beauty and how we can getting attraction towards Krishna. So now the next thing, once you get attracted to Krishna, what will happen? How, like you can see some pastimes. Who are all the people who surrendered to Krishna? How their life has changed. Those things will help us to. That will give us confidence that okay, we can easily follow this approach. Not easily, but at least we can make an attempt to follow their footsteps, so that we will also we can overcome this material beauty and we can focus on spiritual beauty. So if you see some of the pastimes in Vrindavan, Raja, everybody is interested in looking Krishna, like right from Nanda Maharaj, Gopis, Radharani, all friends of Sri Krishna. They always wanted to associate with Krishna. They wanted to see Krishna. Even Gopis, every time when the Krishna used to go in the morning and he used to coming back in the evening. During that time, Gopis, they don't want to even blink the eyes and stop seeing that. Continuously, they wanted to see Krishna. That is the beauty of Krishna. Once you see the beautiful face of Krishna, you lose attraction towards other activities. So that is the one example. With all the Vrindavan, everybody in the Vrindavan, they wanted to see Krishna all the time. That is where he performed Govardhan Leela. And he was there with all the Brajavasis, Gopas, friends of Krishna, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maya, Radharani, everyone was there. So they were able to see Krishna 24 hours. So that is what the desire of the Brajavasis. So the next thing, we see, even Sukadeva Goswami, in the Friday also I was telling the same pastime. Sukadeva Goswami was in a Brahmavadi. But when he heard the beautiful verses describe Krishna's body, personal form, then he was getting attracted towards the personal form of that. He became a devotee from the Brahmavadi. So that is also another example. And one more thing example is the Krishna's and Dwaraka. In the Dwaraka, Vaishnava, like one Brahmana son was, as soon as his wife delivers a baby, and he was losing the kid one after another. Then one day he went to the Krishna's courtyard and he was telling that in your kingdom, my son is, I'm losing a son every time. So then it was happening regularly, continuously. I'm just briefly narrating. So, and one day Arjuna, it happened that Arjuna was there in that courtyard and he heard that, okay, this is what happening. Then what he did, okay, I will protect from now. Then he tried to, with all his weapon power, all his ability, he tried to make some closed area with all his arrows, but still the child disappeared as soon as he took the birth. So then finally Arjuna come and told that, okay, if I am unable to protect, I will take my life. So I will commit suicide. So, but since he was unable to protect the child, then he was able to sacrifice his life. Then Krishna told, okay, come with me. Then Krishna took in a chariot, he went into he crossed the material world, he went to finally the Vaikuntha, where the Vishnu was there. Then Vishnu came and Vishnu gave all the babies, whatever he's taken from the Dwaraka, the Brahmana's wife, he was giving all the kids. The reason he said, he wanted to see Krishna. In the normal side, he cannot come to the Dwaraka and see. Krishna has to give the permission to see Krishna himself. For anyone has to get the authority from Krishna to see him. But in this case, Vishnu also wanted to see, but he cannot come to Dwaraka. Then he played this trick so that Krishna came to the Vaikuntha and he was able to see the Krishna. So that is another pastime. So one more story. It is Rupa Goswami written, I think, Lalita Madhava and Vidagdha Madhava. There are the two commentaries like Srila Rupa Goswami composed. So in that, the Lalita Madhava is the pastimes from the Dwaraka and Vidagdha Madhava is from Vrindavan. In the Lalita Madhava, there is one nice story. It is. So one person was walking in the Dwaraka, Krishna's palace, and suddenly he saw one beautiful form, Krishna. Then initially he was very much attracted by seeing the Krishna's form, and then then after starting by seeing the lotus feet, he was very much he was in love with Krishna. And then after the continuous seeing the Krishna, he wanted to embrace Krishna. So that feelings are coming from inside. He's a great personality of the Dwaraka. So can you guess who is that great personality? Who was having, by seeing Krishna, he got this kind of taste. Any guess? Yes. So the thing is, Krishna, how it happened in the Dwaraka, in the court, Krishna's palace, everything is made up of nice jewels, diamonds, everything. So when he was walking, his reflection came in one mirror. So then he saw the mirror. By seeing the mirror, Krishna himself he didn't realize that it is his form. And he was by seeing the form, he was very much attracted to that form. And he wanted to embrace that form, that Krishna. But finally, he is Krishna himself having that kind of feeling. So we can see how beautiful Krishna. So once you take the shelter of beautiful form of Krishna, you will lose attraction towards all this material beauty. So that is these are various things from our scriptures we can see. People who saw the Krishna's form, Krishna's pastimes, and Krishna's glories, who listening or for repeating, so they lose the taste for material happiness, material enjoyment. So same thing, we can see that before following Krishna conscious, we also used to go to various places. Like we used to go to various hotels, we used to have all the onion garlic or tea, coffee, movies, everything we used to have all those things. But once we start practicing Krishna consciousness, gradually we started losing the taste. So any person who can take the holy name, who can take the who can hear the pastime of Krishna, and who involved in Sankirtan, doing the deity worship, and following the Krishna's instructions from Bhagavad Gita, and by seeing directly you see the personal form. Any one of these you get, if you are attached to any of these these activities, like name, form, glories, darshan, Sankirtan, book distribution, whatever, any activity, transcendental activity related to Krishna, you develop the attraction, you develop the attachment to these activities, then you will be losing this material taste. You will be completely surrendered to Krishna. Then you will not be having any materialistic taste. You will not be under the attraction of material beauty or material sense enjoyment, sense gratification. You will be coming out of all these things. Just take the shelter of holy name, pastime, any of this. Glory, all what is specified, like deity worship, the instructions, all this. Take any of these 6 or 7 items, like all the Navavida Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Swanam, all these. Any of these you take, you will be free from all this material contamination, material attraction. So this is what I'll conclude here. Any comments? Yes, Prabhu. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. It is in the 21st chapter, 17, 3:21, 17. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
So if we actually refer to the purport of the last shloka, Srila Prabhupada quoted the Sridhara Swami, it's actually not the body, but the mentality.
Yes.
So should we understand here that it's not the casting of the body, but it's just that when he left that thought, that actually took the form of joyful.
Yeah, yes, because Brahma is like his body, what I understand, it's made up of full of intelligence. Brahma's body is, right? So it's not like a normal materialistic body we cannot imagine. So that way, in that context, we can understand that, yeah, he left the thought of that improper thoughts, and he, yeah. Yes. Okay, just a minute. So Charanambujam, Prabhupada mentioning it is a lotus feet. Yeah. So what was your... Yeah. Yeah, just I'm looking at the translation. The body given up the Brahma took the form of evening twilight. The body given up by Brahma took the form of evening twilight, when the day and night meet, a time which kindles passion. The asuras, who are passionate by nature, dominated as they are the element of rajas, took it for a damsel, whose lotus feet resounded with the tinkling of anklets. So the asuras were assuming the lotus feet of that, but here it is using the lotus feet in relation to the twilight body. But why that comparison? Sorry, Prabhu, I am not sure. But here they are referring to lotus feet is referring to the twinkling, the twilight lotus feet, right? That's what it is. Yeah, because one thing we can understand, they are asuras, they are not the devotees. So in the devotees, it's non-devotees context. So that if they are devotees, they would have thought of the lotus feet of Krishna. Since they are asuras, they are, yeah, that could be the. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
The asuras was passionate by nature. I thought the asuras are they not
Ignorance.
more of tamas or ignorance? If we were to say asuras were more of passionate, how about Lord Brahma? He's actually more passionate in nature, right?
Yeah. So Prabhu, in generally the modes how it will work. So everyone will have one dominating nature. Like the asuras will have ignorance, but at the same time, during the course of time, you may exhibit different modes as well. But your predominant nature would be ignorance. But sometimes you will like same thing in any devotee also. Sometimes you will be mode of goodness. Suddenly you will get angry. Sometimes you will get frustration. Right? Your dominating mode will be goodness. But at the same time, you will exhibit other modes as well in according to the time and situation. So that way we can understand this. So the asuras are ignorant, but at the same time they will exhibit these other modes as well. But the dominating mode is ignorance. Yeah.
We have nicely described about the auspiciousness of morning time and more of ignorance in the evening time. Will this apply for the higher planets as well? And also, in spite of knowing this, why do we celebrate festivals in the evening?
Okay, Prabhu, yes. So one thing, first you have asked two questions. First question is you are asking whether these modes will be there in higher planets, right? So I think as per my understanding, the three modes of material nature, this material nature compose all the planets, right? Whatever planets there, it is applicable. That is my understanding, right? So it's not just for the Earth planet, it will be applicable to higher planets and lower planets. That is one thing. And the second question is why we are doing the inauspicious time, why you are doing this? But because we know it is inauspicious time, we are trying to make auspicious by following all the festivals. Prabhu, we do Harati and everything because it's inauspicious time. That's why we try to make it auspicious by doing chanting. I remember one pastime in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's taking birth, it was on full moon day, the eclipse day. Eclipse day is generally inauspicious, right? And people started chanting like Brahman, when all the devotees were chanting holy name. Then Haridas Thakur, I think there was a narration. Even though eclipse is inauspicious, by chanting the holy name, they are making the atmosphere auspicious. Right? The same logic we can apply here. So it's ignorant and the materialistic people, that is the inauspicious. But for the devotees, that inauspicious time we are using for auspiciousness so that we will be away from inauspiciousness.
The reason I say that is even if you go to Indian villages, probably electricity has come now. If you actually refer to like 10, 20 years when I was a child, they usually in Indian houses and villages have got a hole outside. What they do is, as soon as it's evening, they light a lamp, they finish their dinner, they light a lamp and put it outside and go to bed. Absolutely no activities after the sunset. So that's the reason.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we are trying to make it as auspicious in the inauspicious time. So we do Harati and so that because that is the time where ghosts are roaming, right? So to avoid impact on us, those bad things, we will making the auspicious things like chanting, doing the Arti. We do everyday Arti, right, in the evening. So we do Arti at home, we do Arti in the temple. So we are trying to make the inauspicious into auspicious.
Just one final thing. You mentioned about Mahavishnu is not allowed to enter Dwaraka. And
See, that's Krishna has to give the permission to see that. That's what I heard in the lecture. So unless Krishna gives permission, yeah, that is what for anyone. It's not only for Vishnu, for everyone. Krishna's mercy should be there. Then only you will be able to go and take darshan. It's that way you have to say, not permission in the sense, not like we should have Krishna's mercy, Krishna's. Then only we can go and see them.
is it an update on the same thing? Is it a proper etiquette to call upon
But that is what he did, that he wanted some situation he created. Prabhu, in that case, we can see Brahma also, Brahma Vimohan Leela, he tested Krishna, right? So the Brahma is subordinate to Krishna. But yeah, sometimes we can see that the Leela perspective, we can see that. We can understand as a Leela and see that mood. Because we can, one way we can see higher authority, but we need to see the mood of the Vishnu. Vishnu wanted to see Krishna. He's not finding a way to see Krishna. So that's why he did this. So his mood we need to understand. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Bund ki jai.